Hello everybody, I'm NoirVortex and welcome to fresh Jinni blog, fresh playtest blog. I'm just going to start this up because it'll take a while to load. So I'm just going to be playtesting my game Jinni, which is in beta build 1.3 now. Talk a bit about how the action RPG development's going on with the game. Talk about the latest development builds I've done, play the game a bit, experiment, test. Give anyone watching, kind of glimpse of what where I'm up to with the game. Leave feedback or any kind of comments or questions you have about the game below if you wish. It's an action RPG which is set in a post-apocalyptic world. Follows the traditional RPG kind of like game mechanics. It's a game that I've developed primarily by myself. I started off last year doing it, and you can see that the start of the process when I started off with Harvey last year. We co-developed the game ideas together. A lot of which have been simplified since then because we started off with ambition, and I'm still happy with what I've built because we've got a nice medium-sized sandbox game basically. In some respects, it's a sandbox game anyway, and that you're free to go around, do whatever quests you want. Currently, just thinking about ways to enhance that feeling of freedom in the game and enhance the immersive aspect. I had somebody I know from somewhere I volunteer playtested the game recently as well, so I got some really good feedback from that. Some of which I've implemented, including to incorporate more interior spaces or build some of those up, build up the general, improve some of the conversations you can have in the game, and just things like that as well. So that was from a playtest somebody did. So I've had my first official someone else playtesting the game apart from me, which is really useful because I can get some objective feedback now. So I've started implementing some of that. Not fully yet because there's a lot of things that she suggested which are relatively time consuming to implement, but going through the process of doing that. This is almost loaded, so it should be in pretty soon. Load times are still long. I don't think there's any real getting around this fact because it's just a large map for the game engine. There's a lot of trees as well, which I think are quite process intensive for the engine. So I started playing around with doing a mobile version of the game as well, but I've only really touched the surface of that. Okay, let's go. Cool. So I've noticed I've added some ambient lighting. It's kind of just from that blue flame up there. Let's take this. So the conversation system is like, if you've seen any of these, you would have seen this before. It's nothing new. So I'll accept that quest. And I'm just gonna have a run around to show you some new things I've done. So yeah, there's some more, like where all these blue lights are. I've added. See that as a lens flare as well effect. I've added some more bushes, made things a bit more got your mofo. Added some more grass, like made it a bit more, just look better that way. There's a lot of grass. I went around the entire level actually just adding a lot more grass textures or grass materials because there seem to be a few areas where it's just really like that was a bit of a fail on my part. Let's get this guy in. The AI's being a bit clever now. The AI seems to be in general behaving a bit better. So yeah, the AI is in general is defending, being a bit better, behaving a bit better, more intelligently, but I've not really tested that out with the max yet. Shouldn't play this as I would. One thing that came up during playtesting is I need to make it more obvious which NPCs are NPCs. So like, you might assume that's an enemy, but it's actually a character who gives you a quest. So that's something I need to look into. She's moving along the waypoints, which is good. These are moving a bit more realistically, which is nice. She's moving underwater though, but I don't think I can get around that. Come on. They can batter me quite fast, so I have to be quite careful. This guy's running around a lot. Come on, mate. Still on that, what I'm saying on the you can die fast is he would have ended me. Yeah, the enemies are definitely a lot more intelligent now. They're moving around a lot more, seem to be using the environment better way. Attacks seem a lot more challenging, so that's good. Whilst also being not overly challenging, I suppose. I'm not going to go and complete the whole game, obviously, because anyone watching this, I mean, there will be spoilers in these videos, I might as well say that, for the entire game, so I mean, I'm more just recording these as a kind of record of the, you know, the game development process, I suppose. Anybody interested? But yeah, you'll see, or you should be able to see, there's a lot more grass there built up. Like I said before, I've been building up there. It just seems more naturalistic because I've been building it up and just thinking where would there be more grass in certain areas. It's a subtle difference, but I think it is making a difference. A walking cycle not running there for some reason. So again, I don't know why that's happening. But, some of these internal spaces have got more things added into them. This isn't like complete, but these used to be very empty, whereas now they've got, you know, beds in and little bits and bobs. Still needs a bit of adding to, but you can kind of get more of a feeling of lived in spaces. There's another one I need to go in all the ones which I don't really add that much to. Let's spin it. Yeah, it's good that these walking cycles are working out. It's brilliant. So that's good. Does seem to have rendered very well actually. So this is good. Oh, that was a bit too fast on my part over there. Got the shop. Just gonna explore a bit. But yeah, like I said, I've got a lot more grass up, a lot more the game world is more, it's just generally bigger, better, faster, stronger. Yeah. It's a lot more, feels more natural as a little environment, I suppose. So there's some enemy encounters here which might be harder, more difficult, I'm not sure. Oh, this is interesting. It's the first time I've really properly explored everything on this map now. Let's get a sneak up on this guy. Got him. His hand cannon will take him out pretty nicely. Oh man, I got taken out way too fast then. Anyway, I've got one more life left. 7 minutes have passed, roughly, I guess. Built up quite a lot of areas over here, so I'll have a explore over here. Some of these might walk on waypoints, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to talk to this guy. Stuck mid-cycle for some reason. So some of these areas have got generally built up a bit better. He's further ahead actually. But anyway, let's take these bandits out. For the farmers. For the workers, for the farmers. Yeah, nice. Hand cannon looks nice and easy. We're running out a bit low on ammo, don't know. Come on mate, don't be an idiot. I still feel it seems a bit dumb. Don't know what it is with this encounter, but it just seems that they're just stay still. Dumbass. I need to look at that. Just being stupid. Idiot. So, I think really I need to make that a bit more dynamic, that encounter, and a bit more exciting, because at the minute it's, you'll see that some of these indoor areas have got a bit more, you know, we've got stuff in there that look like living spaces as opposed to what being just empty as they were before. Which is a suggestion that came from the playtest, and I'll probably implement that further even more so I think, eventually. Okay, I'm just going to go claim a reward anyway, I might as well get one of these quests. Or, nah, sorry, I don't know about the quest in this one, I'm just going to explore a bit and show off some more of the landscape work. So yeah, the grass much more incorporated into the world. I've tried to think about how grass actually looks like in real life as well, where it is, the kind of areas it is, essentially. It's easy. Put them out really fast. Yeah, see, you got lighting effects here and stuff. Bit of ambience. Oh la 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 la. Okay. So take them out. Now this is no fun for me really because I know where all the enemies are, but this is this area is fairly new build in terms of the whole game development. There we go. Oh, this is this. I'm still messing up then. There's one of the quests which is currently misbehaving. I need to try and look at it. Come on then, yo. 50% health, bang on. So that's why. In the combat you can still get relatively chunked pretty fast. We've only got 2 lives anyway, so the game is rather unforgiving in that respect. I still don't think I need to develop this area a bit. It's a bit bare in places, like just feels a bit blank compared to some of the others. So. Just gonna look around. Not too bad. That hand cannon again. Oh yes. Nice. Love this gun. This hand cannon. Lady of the Jinn here. I'm not putting anything on there then. I need to add a trigger there then, in fact, for Lady of the Jinn. The Lady of the Jinn. Which is basically like a spot where you can get updated on your quest. This whole area, kind of outside the central map, is basically a large, they call it the dilapidated ruins, so it's like a large urban sprawl. It's a bit ruined basically. It's like a marketplace over there, it's a fire area. But, yeah, all this is basically like the ruins of an old city basically. It's where the Fire and the Earth tribes hang out as well. But you can kind of get a sense for all that. I need to probably add more NPC interactions. That's really one of the major things I need to do now, is just have it. So instead of me just saying it when I'm doing these videos, you kind of get guided into it as a player. You kind of get a bit idea of the lore of the world, as it were, I suppose. So yeah, anyway, this is like an urban. Oh baby! Oh, this is going to be quite exciting. It's fast bastard. Shit. Fuck! Look at this guy go. Oh, I'm dead. Beaten by my own game. Well, that's the end of that playtest. I'll quit it there actually. Shit. Got beat. Well, that's actually a good sign because I got beaten by my own not my own AI, but the AI of the engine, so that's good. I was it's bad in a way, but also good in a way as well, because I was having some AI problems before, but this mostly seems to have resolved itself now. Yeah, though, that's to say really. Let's see. 1.3. Oh, not far off done, which is I know is what I've said in the last few vlogs, but I think having the last playtest I had has helped a lot to just make it clear what I need to change in the game. But I mean, I could easily ship it now if I wanted to, but at the minute it's more about just making it, perfecting it a bit, and making it a nicely self-contained thing. So yeah, that's my last vlog for this. Well, it's not my last. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. It's, that was the Jinni vlog, number 13, I think.